Hey everyone, and welcome to Real Life Real Crime Daily for Friday, October 13th, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino. Friday the 13th.
Sure is.
What?
Around, cats, black cats everywhere because Halloween. I mean, I don't trust Friday the 13th this time of year. It's not a good thing. But you know what? There's something more important we have to talk about, Woody.
Okay.
There was a little board discussion this morning.
Okay.
And the main topic was the Amish people.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we have a large contingent of Amish listeners to the show.
It's because they listen on all their electronic devices.
Yes, a large contingent, most of them taking us on rabbit ears from the roof of their barns. But there's some concern over the reference made to Amish mafia, which
I'm not going to argue with you.
Apparently was a TV show.
Wait a minute. Your brethren don't even admit that there's a mafia.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
So the Amish aren't going to admit that there's a mafia either, right?
That's a good response.
Right? It's true. You better believe they got their own shit going on. Right?
Freaking right. Ever seen Children of Corn?
Well, since we didn't take nearly as much heat on that as we took on my British accent, I guess I can't. I
hadn't even looked at social media.
Kill you too bad on.
I bet they had a good time with the British part, huh?
Well,
I hadn't looked at social media.
Except it doesn't sound anything like British. I think they're like, what accent is that supposed to be?
I think Children of Corn was Irish, right?
Irish?
Well, they had Isaac on there.
Irish?
He looked Irish. I mean, not Irish. Whatever.
Mafia.
Amish.
Wait, that's a what do you call it? Sci-fi?
No, horror.
It's a
Children of
horror.
Corn? You hadn't seen Children of Corn?
What about that title would draw me to it? Children of the Corn. No.
It's a great movie.
A good Halloween movie.
No, to me, Chucky's the ultimate. You're never going to do better than Chucky. So I just no sense watching any of that stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty good too, I got to admit.
All right. So thank you everyone for being here. Mike was going to bust me on some Amish shit, and I'm not going to let him. And thank y'all.
Rum and Schneider. What did you call that?
Rum Springer.
Rum Springer.
Run Springer.
Springer.
Now he's doing an Amish accent.
Or Irish.
Let's get into some true crime for.
Well, we talked about the beard, but we didn't talk about the lack of a mustache.
Yep. So Mike dug up some more false information that he has no way of
Dr.
verifying.
Google.
Yeah, Dr. Google. What did Dr. Google tell you about lack of mustache, Mike?
Well, I thought you had the good answer on why the Amish do not. They grow the beards once they get married, but they don't. They're not allowed to have mustaches.
Only because you told me. I mean, something about they didn't want to be a part of the military or some shit.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Okay, you're forgetting what your joke was, but no. It's all good. But today, if we ask about a particular town or city, and do you know anyone from there, the audience would like you to refrain from answering Barney.
Yeah, that's
to
the first thing
every one of those questions.
Okay, I'll let something else pop out.
Come up like Mr. Rogers or something like that. Might be better than Barney. Where did Barney actually grow up? Do we know?
Evidently in my kids' television.
Yeah, mine too. That and Caillou.
Wasn't there a scandal with Barney? Didn't he get in some trouble?
No, I think that's Pee Wee Herman. He's dead now too.
Yeah, I know he is, but I thought Barney got in some trouble too. I don't know, but
let's get to some true crime time for Friday.
I guess that's more important than Barney. Okay, let's go.
Well, we're going to tell you, look, I know of the three of us, the one with the biggest stalking problems is Woody, but people these days go to all kinds of lengths to stalk. And we're going to tell you about one that you're just not going to believe. A retired merchant marine is suspected of using his small plane to stalk a woman for more than 4 years in upstate New York. He denied knowing the victim Tuesday as he was arrested for the third time in a single week for tormenting her. I don't know her. She's crazy, Michael Arnold, 65, said of the 42-year-old Cassie Wiltz on his way to Saratoga Town Court. He said he'd only eaten at a restaurant once and didn't return after coming down with food poisoning. But Wiltz, who owns the Revolution Cafe in a small village, shared videos that show him circling her home in his plane and following her in his car. He was arraigned Tuesday on 9 counts of criminal contempt. They stem from an arrest on Friday using a Facebook account with a fake name to harass her and threaten her daughter in violation of an order of protection. As he left court, deputies slapped handcuffs on him and slapped him with a new stalking charge. He was arrested on October 3rd at an airport in Vermont for repeatedly circling Wilt's home in a single-engine Cessna in violation of an order of protection that banned him from flying. Wiltz, whose husband recently died, said that Arnold is a former customer who terrorized her and her family since she rejected his vulgar advances in November of 2019. Really? Wiltz said she's been living in a nightmare ever since Arnold emailed her photos of him posing with nude women.
Right.
She told him, "You crossed a line."
Right.
That's when he began his campaign of harassment, flying over her home several days a week and following her in his car when she headed to work, walked her dog, or even took her daughter to school. As her husband was dying of colon cancer earlier this year, he'd fly so low that the roof shook and the windows rattled. What? I didn't know if he'd fly in her home. I didn't know what he was capable of, she said. She filed at least 10 police reports and contacted the local prosecutor's office, but Wiltz said they did not take her complaint seriously. Authorities had difficulty determining whether Arnold was flying low enough for the conduct to constitute stalking. And when I read that, I'm like, I don't think there's a law for stalking in a plane that they've written yet.
If you're going to stalk somebody, there's much cheaper ways to do it than burning airplane fuel.
Well,
for sure.
Arnold said he ain't worried about money.
Yeah, right.
The most recent order of protection includes a ban on flying, which has made it much easier to arrest and charge him. This from police. So he took stalking to a whole new level.
Unbelievable.
They can ban you from flying on a restraining order?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Essentially.
I guess so.
But, okay, so we've covered all kinds of sick freaking people on this show, but what do you think the guy was doing in the plane while he was circling over the house?
I was just thinking about that. I mean, did he really think that was going to work out for him? She's already got restraining orders against him and everything else. Just because you're buzzing the house, now you think she's going to drop her drawers for you?
I think he was probably so pissed because she, wouldn't accept his advances that he just wanted to make her life hell. But, he's probably sitting there thinking there's no law against flying my plane.
Yeah. Well,
but I mean, when you're flying so low, you're shaking windows.
But maybe he's one of these crazy fetish people. Maybe his thing was he just looked down at her house or her barn and do his circles. And he would
spank bank with his spank plane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't want to clean the carpet in that plane.
Right. You think that plane has carpet?
I don't know, floorboard, whatever the floorboard is made of.
And then maybe they get some rubber
they have
mat.
Something there.
Get some rubber mats so you can just hose it out. All right, so let's go to Utah. Yeah, my Mormon peeps out there.
Aren't they Amish out there in Utah?
I'm sure they probably not. But anyway, I'm not sure on that, so I'm not going to comment. So I'm going to get sanctioned. But Utah has become the third U.S. state to file a lawsuit against TikTok, claiming the app knowingly made addicts out of the state's children. Utah officials allege that social media giant illegally baits children into addictive and unhealthy use, misrepresents the app's safety, and deceptively portrays itself as an independent of its China-based parent company. Governor Spencer Cox announced that the suit Tuesday, and Utah joins Indiana and Arkansas, who have already come after TikTok. And the lawsuit seeks to force TikTok to change its destructive behavior while imposing fines and penalties to fund education efforts and otherwise address the damage done to Utah children. Officials are also seeking a digital curfew for minors, requiring parental consent to sign up for the social media apps and forcing companies to verify the ages of all their Utah users. They're going to get fucking hammered on this. The other side's lawyers are going to come after their ass. But however, not all Americans are on board with a TikTok ban and agree with the social media platform that such a law violates the freedom of expression. That's what I was getting at. And tech companies would be required to grant parents access to their children's accounts, including private messages. A TikTok spokesperson said, TikTok has industry-leading safeguards for young people, including an automatic 60-minute timeout or time limit for users under 18 and parental controls for teen accounts. We will continue to work to keep our community safe by taking industry-wide challenges. And officials said TikTok's conduct in the state is concerning because it has the largest percentage of children per capita in the nation. Imagine that. We won't go into why that is, right? You know, all right.
I know what you're thinking.
All right. So, but I mean, why would Utah have more kids than anybody else?
They like to procreate.
Well, yeah, and they have multiple. Well, some of them, right?
Multiple wives.
We will no longer tolerate TikTok misleading parents that its app is safe for children. Governor Cox says social media companies must be held responsible for the harm they're causing. And, it just goes on and on and on. The Utah lawsuit is similar to an action brought against TikTok by Indiana in December. And Arkansas sued TikTok also and Facebook parent Meta in March for pushing addictive platforms. The judge is going to hear arguments on Thursday. And Montana's legislature approved legislation to ban TikTok, citing spying concerns. However, TikTok countersued the state in May. Shocker. Montana's the first state to attempt to ban TikTok. But many Americans say banning a social media platform is fundamentally un-American. I do agree with that. We're Americans, right? But Gavin Dees, a TikToker, us like banning porn. I mean, who you tell me?
Right.
Well, we do
screw that.
We do prevent young people
from
being able to legally access porn.
Back in my day,
and cigarettes and alcohol and other things.
When I was a teenager, I got
Jugs magazine,
right? Jugs magazine. Had to stand in line, wait for everybody to leave, and pointed up the rack on the wall. You couldn't even see what was on. He said, "Which one do you want?" I said, "That one." Before that, it was called Jugs. But anyway, however, blah blah blah. Of course, the obvious hypocrisy here is that the business models for virtually all social media companies are the same, and TikTok is being attacked because of its connection to the Chinese government, not because of the privacy issues unique to that, whatever. You can't stop it. People love their TikTok, and TikTok does not evidently translate automatically into podcasts, and it just doesn't. People want that short shit. I got best friends that don't listen to my shit, but they'll stay on TikTok all day long.
Well, let me say something on that story, and that is the issue here. And look, I'm not saying some of those ideas are not good, but parents need to do their job, right? Police their children as well. And my kids didn't have TikToks, and they didn't even have cell phones till they were 15 or something like that.
My son helps me run my TikTok. Yeah.
So, well, write down the date and time, because I'm absolutely going to agree 100% with Jim that hey, it's up. It
must
up.
be Friday the 13th.
It's up to
out for lightning bolts.
It is up to parents. But what we have seen historically in this country is that the government will intervene in terms of creating barriers for youth. You can't drive until a certain age. You can't have a drink until a certain age. You can't smoke until a certain age.
Not going to kill somebody smoking.
Well, I would say to the contrary. While you can't draw a direct line and blame this specific death on TikTok, I would say the absolute contagion of suicide in this country amongst teenagers and people in their 20s has been just dramatically impacted by social media, and so
but it's not just TikTok.
It's not just TikTok
and stuff like that. I get it.
Well, look, the other end of this thing is what's happening in the UK right now, where the UK is basically creating a parallel to the FCC's oversight in the U.S. over broadcast media for all digital media, and so you're not going. Well, that's what they are going to do, and they don't have a First Amendment, and they don't have those issues.
We beat their ass in the Revolutionary War.
But there's a balance that needs to be struck. There's also unique to TikTok. There is a concern. All of these companies make the majority of their money off of data and the data mining of U.S. citizens that's be everywhere. Put in the hands. It is everywhere, but I don't think that Mark Zuckerberg is selling it to the Chinese at the end of every month.
Right.
He might be. I don't know, but I don't think he is.
Lifers, I want you to know I have the opportunity to sell all your personal information. I don't do it. Never would.
He didn't have any buyers.
Shit. I wouldn't sell my people's shit.
Look, I think it's a nuanced. I mean, it's a complicated topic that's going to get more and more.
Go follow Real Life Real Crime on TikTok.
Yeah.
At 19,000 something followers.
How many stories do we do on this show where we're talking about 14-year-olds and 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds committing crimes they never would have committed a generation ago, two generations ago?
It's not just TikTok's fault.
It's not just TikTok's fault. It's a lot of stuff, but it deserves some attention.
You could lump it in. The podcasts have come in into their own during that generation. But they're going to regulate me. They're going to regulate you. I mean, where does it stop?
We're contributing to the education of our youth, and we are an asset in this war.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone supporting supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something. And all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
Story I'm about to talk about, we first reported in September. This involves a Bronx daycare provider. You probably remember this, where the husband and his cousin were indicted on murder and other charges for exposing children to fentanyl in their supposed daycare facility.
They must have been on TikTok.
They were most definitely on TikTok. So Gray Mendez, 36, her husband Felix Herrera Garcia, 34, and Carlisto Brito, 41, each were indicted on second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter charges in the death of Nicholas Dominici. Authorities have said Nicholas and 3 other children, 2 2-year-old boys and an 8-month-old girl, were exposed to what investigators believe was fentanyl September 15th at Divino Nino Daycare in the Bronx. Nicholas died that day while the 3 other children were hospitalized with acute opioid intoxication. Antonio Feliz, the father of Nicholas Dominici, spoke at an emotional news conference Thursday saying he was looking forward to his son's kindergarten graduation photo, but instead what I have is the reminder of his death, as he held up a picture from his son's memorial. The 3 defendants also were indicted on charges of first-degree criminal possession of a controlled substance, 4 counts of first-degree assault, 5 counts of second-degree assault, criminal possession of controlled substance, and 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. The defendants were arraigned and pleaded not guilty in Bronx Supreme Court. How the drug operation worked was pretty simple. The defendants, who are considered mid-level drug dealers, would cut the fentanyl and other drugs and use even household items like baby powder, and they had pressing machines in the facility that were found by police, and that's where they would pack the drugs and get them ready for distribution. Officials said a kilo of the poisonous and potent drug was stored on top of a children's playmat. I can't believe that that's where they would decide to put it. So Herrera Garcia got away after this thing happened in mid-September, and he was finally found and arrested in Mexico last week. So all of those responsible and involved in this thing are now going to be held accountable.
That's certainly, it's murder. And it's just like daycares, people that rape babies, How fucking stupid are you going to run a pressing lab and mix fentanyl in a daycare? Get a fucking life. They better be glad I'm not the judge and jury on cases like that, because I've taken some bitches right out in the street and shoot them in the head.
Yeah,
I think judges are discouraged from such behavior, Woody, but in this case, I would support you 100%.
Well, hopefully they get what's coming to them.
Yeah.
So a Florida woman.
Where?
County?
Was arrested for leaving Walmart without paying for her items.
Amish Walmart or regular Walmart?
Regular Walmart. Because she thought a security guard was trying to holler at her.
Uh-oh.
That's right. So if you're
saying,
cool like me and Woody,
right,
you know that why you ain't hollered at me. Yeah. People say that all the time.
Give me them digits.
That's right. Give me them digits. Catherine Eves was arrested and charged with petty theft for the incident that unfolded last Thursday at a Walmart in Ocala. The asset
not Pinellas.
Not Pinellas. The asset protection specialist at Walmart told deputies that the suspect, identified as the 34-year-old Eves, left the store without paying for items and refused to go back inside to check out. Surveillance footage from Walmart shows her walking around the store for about 3 hours before walking into the tire center, passing several cash registers and leaving the store. As she walked toward the exit, the asset protection specialist tried to talk to her, telling her several times to go back inside. That's when Eves yelled back at him and walked away. In her post-Miranda interview, Eves told deputies that the security guard started talking to her, but she thought he was trying to holler.
Oh, man.
So she ran out of the store. Eves also said she was at Walmart in the first place because she had nothing to do and was killing time, adding that she had to return a few things and grab a few more.
Really?
So, I mean, that makes complete sense to me. You in
too.
there, you shopping, you got a couple items.
Right.
All of a sudden, security's trying to holler at you.
Not security, an asset protection specialist. Let's not.
Asset protection.
Stupid.
Yeah. Trying to holler.
It's trying to holler.
Yeah. I'd run out the store too.
But how you, like she said, she'd have had nothing to do. So Walmart's entertainment for you? You just go hang out and people watch at Walmart?
For 3 hours.
Yeah, for 3 hours.
Bruh. That's a long time to be walking around Walmart looking at.
Like I can understand Whole Foods for that amount of time.
Yeah. All right.
But Walmart.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, let's go to Hotlanta. Atlanta's police chief on Tuesday fired an officer who shot a 62-year-old church deacon with a stun gun during a dispute over a traffic ticket. The man named Johnny Holman later died. Police chief Darren Schimbaum said Officer Karen Kimbrough did not follow department procedures August 10th when he didn't wait until a supervisor arrived to arrest Holman. Why do you got to wait for a supervisor? The chief said he made the decision to fire Kimbrough after an internal investigation was concluded on Monday. Part of my job is to assess, evaluate, and adjust how this police department is carrying out its sworn mission to serve and protect the citizens of this city, he said in a statement. I understand the difficult and dangerous job that our officers do each and every day throughout the city, and I do not arrive at these decisions lightly. Davis, a lawyer for the Holman family, said Monday that Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis told him and relatives in a meeting that Kimbrough's body cam video of the arrest would be publicly released as soon as Willis concludes that all witnesses have been interviewed. That could be as soon as Thursday. Kimbrough joined the Atlanta police as a cadet in March of 2021 and became an officer that October. He has had a clean record with no disciplinary history, and relatives of Holman have seen the video and contend Kimbrough should be charged with murder. Well, it's going to be interesting. It's up to Willis to determine if the criminal charges will be filed, and that could take Willis months because she'd be busy. Holman became unresponsive while being arrested after a minor car crash. Relatives say Holman, a church deacon, was driving home from Bible study at his daughter's house and bringing dinner to his wife when he collided with another vehicle as he turned across a busy street. Police didn't arrive until Holman and a second driver had waited more than an hour. Police department said Kimbrough shot Holman with a stun gun and handcuffed him after Holman became agitated and uncooperative when Kimbrough issued him a ticket, finding him at fault for the wreck. The GBI said Kimbrough and Holman struggled physically before Kimbrough shot Holman. And the chief said Tuesday that the Holman failed to sign the citation, but Davis has said the video will show Holman repeatedly agreed to sign at some point, calling that a false narrative. Atlanta police officials have since ruled that the officers should write refusal to sign on a traffic ticket instead of arresting someone who won't sign. I do not agree with this. In Louisiana, if you're signing for the ticket, you get a ticket, you're technically being arrested. All you're signing, you tell everyone when they sign it, signing is not admission of guilt. It's just saying, releasing your own recognizance you're going to show up in court. If you refuse to sign it, your ass goes to jail. That's the rule. But anyway, the medical examiner said that based on a review of the video and conversation with the GBI investigator, she concluded that Holman was unresponsive after he was stunned. David said Holman tried to tell the officer that he had asthma and couldn't breathe. And Holman's daughter has said her father called her on the phone and she listened for more than 17 minutes, eventually going to the location of the wreck. So, it's tough shit, y'all. I mean, it's an ongoing investigation.
Well, there are a couple things there that, and you hit on one of the things that occurred to me, and I was really wanting to get your take on it. Why would he have to wait for the supervisor to show up? What?
No idea. It must be,
about being more of a rookie because he just got out of training or something?
Because when you get out of the academy, you have to do field training. You're assigned to FTO, which I used to be, field training officer, and gradually bring you through the process to your turn loose. You shouldn't have to wait. Who the hell has to wait on a supervisor to make an arrest?
Well, unless the guy asked for a supervisor.
Yeah,
so as a citizen,
that,
you can say, "I want your supervisor."
Yeah, none of the stories said that, but
and then you can talk to my supervisor later on.
But it sucks that people have to. So first of all, you get into a wreck, and then you call, and you gotta wait over an hour. So tensions can build up in that hour. Right. So probably this guy understood that he's a church deacon, et cetera, but he could have gotten pretty upset during that period of time.
Especially when he cites him and says, you're at fault. And but, the deal being is I'm not working in Atlanta. If every time I got to make an arrest, I got to call a supervisor, my supervisor would have to get on my back all night because I'm be arresting the shit out of people.
Well, this just doesn't seem that clean here. I mean, there's obviously video to watch, but they say there was a physical altercation, so I would think that would justify his use of
but this force continuum, and I mean, I don't know.
Is he supposed to know that the guy's got a heart condition?
No.
So
the guy hadn't. Well, I can't say because I wasn't there. I mean, he may have just shot him with the taser for fun. I doubt it. That he probably had a legit reason, and if you act out to a point where I can, on my use of force continuum, I can graduate my force level, including stun you with a taser. If you die, that's on you. You shouldn't have acted out.
And this is for anyone thinking it. This is not a race thing. This is an African American cop and an African American deacon.
I didn't know if they were white or black or whatever.
No, but anyone who might think that it's being made into a big case and everything else because of that. This has nothing to do with that.
I'm reserving judgment until we can get more information on it. I don't know who's in the right, who's in the wrong, but we're going to find out.
Let's go to Missouri, where a high school English teacher was suspended last month after the St. Clair School District discovered that she had performed sexual acts on an adult website. The 28-year-old teacher at St. Clair High School, Brianna Coppage, tendered her resignation, and she has decided to move forward in a different direction. That, according to Superintendent Kyle Cruz, in a prepared statement. The resignation was voluntary, he said. Her story gained global readership after being picked up by news outlets in the UK, Australia, India, Singapore, and elsewhere. This has been a story I've been watching for a little while here, and her resignation
I think it has
brings
lookism involved.
Brings it to a head here. Coppage, who had taught for 2 years at St. Clair High School, previously told the Post-Dispatch, which is the big St. Louis newspaper, that she joined the direct-to-consumers website Onlyfans over the summer to supplement her teaching salary. Quote, "It was kind of always like this cloud hanging over my head, like I never knew when I would be discovered," she said, after being suspended last month. "So I knew this day was coming." Coppage taught English to freshmen and sophomores and made about $42,000 last year, according to...
I bet they were on her account.
What's that?
I bet that her students were on her account as some by hook or crook.
Well, we'll see if that's where this goes. But she made $42,000 from her teaching. She previously said she was earning an additional $8,000 to $10,000 a month performing on OnlyFans. But that was before word of her account circulated in St. Clair and beyond. No telling, because that is the time when everyone in the school district jumped on her account. I'm sure. The school superintendent, Cruz, tried to clarify some misconceptions of how this story unfolded in rural Franklin County, which is about 50 miles outside of St. Louis. "We were deeply disappointed that this negative attention was brought to our community, but we were also limited to how we could respond." He said district officials did not independently discover Coppage's online persona, but instead learned of it from a person who is not affiliated with the district and is not from St. Clair. The district immediately retained legal counsel for assistance due to the sensitivity of the matter and to protect the integrity of the investigation. The district was advised to and did take all possible steps to ensure confidentiality. Nevertheless, the situation became known to the media through third parties and was discussed in the community and elsewhere, which is what blew it up to the proportions where everybody.
Hey, whoever reported her that was from outside the county, shame on them. Let that lady make a living.
Yeah, I mean,
right? If she wasn't doing it, I saw it. It's Mike showed me the picture. It's definitely lookism involved. If she didn't look like this, we wouldn't be talking about her.
$8,000 to $10,000 a month. I don't even make that.
That was before she
it was
became
before.
famous.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what the numbers were after it.
Or
it
still
became-
are.
And the story probably propels her to a whole nother
Right.
economic level
Everybody in
on
the world
OnlyFans.
looked
And
her up.
she was probably very happy to turn in her resignation of the $42,000 job for the $420,000 job.
Right,
on
exactly.
OnlyFans. And I might have.
Access to
I
OnlyFans.
might have. No, I didn't. I was tempted to. I asked my wife if I should. She said, "Don't you dare."
Did you look it up?
Open and no. I looked her up online, but I didn't go. I've never been on OnlyFans, but
I've never been on it. That's why I asked y'all, was it an app last time? And you said no. Or whenever it was we talked about it.
I only go on it for research.
you actually have a hall pass for that, don't you?
Indeed.
How much it costs?
Well, I
Or
have.
it's different for everyone?
He now
You talking about my OnlyFans?
he now takes honeydew he now honors honeydew lists than he did before.
Hey, are you making that much on
That's
OnlyFans?
right. That's right. Naked podcasting, baby.
That's right. There you go.
Check it out.
We could do that.
Bloody and Gold After Dark.
Right. Cinemax After, what was it? Max After Dark? Yeah.
All right. Good story there. And look, that's a question, you know, how much control can you have over people's lives?
She was doing it in secret.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. All right. We're
You
going
don't
to give
think
you
when she graded an English test, A+. By the way, if you'd like to see more of me.
No, it might have been the other. It might have been Woody Overton. Hey, Missy, yeah, I got an F, but I got you on OnlyFans. Can make that an A.
Can you please make that a
if
name?
you'll remember, we did a story a while back about the cop who had an
same
OnlyFans,
thing,
and the guy recognized her when she gave him a ticket.
That's right.
So it could have happened in this case. But anyway, give you an update on a story we brought you. It's been a couple of weeks about NFL player Sergio Brown. So that former NFL player whose mother was found dead last month near her suburban Chicago home has now been taken into custody by authorities. Brown, who had traveled to Mexico, was deported Tuesday and taken into custody by U.S. law enforcement officers near San Diego. And the arrest warrant was actually issued in Illinois. Police in San Diego are working to transfer Brown from Southern California to the Chicago area. Mexican law enforcement officers have known Brown's whereabouts since at least September 19th and deported him after authorities in Illinois finally obtained an arrest warrant pertaining to the death of Brown's mother. Brown is being held on a felony fugitive arrest warrant. As we told you, authorities discovered the body of 73-year-old Myrtle Brown on September 16th. After relatives alerted police, they had been unable to find or contact her or her son. Her body was found near a creek behind her home in Maywood, about 11 miles from Chicago, and the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office determined that Miss Brown died from injuries related to an assault, and the manner of the death was ruled a homicide. So it looks,
Kill your own mama.
It looks like that's what happened.
You got a bad time coming in prison, Jack.
I mean, when you run to Mexico the next day,
Yeah, I mean,
that's a question and just a horrible situation.
It kill your 70-something-year-old mom.
Thank God
Special
they
kinda
got
asshole.
him.
Yeah. Well, this is another tough story I'm going to lay on you. A 24-year-old social worker has allegedly admitted to having sex with a 13-year-old boy after being busted during a three-way call with cops and his mother. Ohio investigators discovered a disturbing video of Peyton Shires having sex with the young boy following a report from this worried parent in September. Columbus police officers charged Shires with unlawful sexual conduct with a minor. The boy's mother began suspecting Shires of predatory behavior when she spotted texts between the licensed counselor and her son on his phone. The teen was receiving counseling from the 24-year-old. Charging documents show the mom contacted police on September 27th after seeing the message from Shryers asking her son whether he had deleted the videos and whether anyone had seen them. That's always a dead giveaway, right? The boy told detectives they had sex at least twice at different locations. Police set up a three-way call between the mother, detectives, and Shryers, where the social worker reportedly admitted to sexual relationship. She was taken into custody, and more charges could be brought against her in the coming days. Police will release the mugshot of Shryers, who is white with blue eyes and dyed blonde hair. State records show her counsel license was issued in June of 2023, and she used to work for the National Youth Advocate Program. So protecting children is everyone's responsibility, program representative said in a statement. The National Youth Advocate Program is saddened by the situation involving one of our former employees and a young person served by our organization. So anyway, her ass is locked up on a $500,000 bond.
As she should be.
Right.
I mean, the job, so someone is counseling your child. They've got all the credentials to counsel.
Yep. 24 years old, I'm doing a 13-year-old.
And it's like what we were doing the other day with the guy that abused 17 kids in Southern California, the Manny.
Yeah.
You have to. It's not enough that you're getting some kind of help with your kids or getting them help with their schoolwork or some kind of counseling. You've got to do the diligence to investigate the people and the company you're working with to make sure the person you're letting into your home and you're your kid. I mean, you can't trust anyone.
It's the same. It doesn't matter how much diligence you do, et cetera, unless you have them polygraphed by me. That they're going to slip through the cracks and they're going to get in there. Remember what I told you, almost important for the sexual deviant to commit the act is to record it. This chick actually recorded them having sex on her cell phone.
Unbelievable.
Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty, it's awesome, and it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of an LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day.
It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
There you have it.
Wow. Well, I like to go to the UK at least once an episode or so.
How much did you practice your British accent after that horror show the other day?
No, I know
you've been practicing a lot.
I've been terminated. No, I'm watching Gangs of London, which is unbelievable. Yeah. It's a great series. And
it's an old series. You mean the
no, the Gangs
Blinders?
You're thinking Gangs in New York, like Pinky. No, this is it's a Tarantino like production. I mean, it is
graphic.
It is graphic. Yeah.
What's it on?
Well, it was originally on AMC, but it's now out on Prime. So I'm watching on 2 seasons of it that are out on Prime. And but it obviously hasn't helped my accent any. So I'm not going to try to speak as any of these people.
Jim, give us an accent.
Jim can come in and whenever he likes. Thank you, Jim. Colleen and Thomas Campbell were small-time crooks, pretending to live a quiet life with their 2 kids in Manchester. But officers couldn't help but take note when a major addition was added to their modest home, and the couple began to enjoy luxury holidays and started driving expensive sports cars. The double-story extension, the cars, the designer clothes, and jewelry all led to the discovery that the Campbells had been paying for it all with dirty money. At the time, Colleen was supposedly working part-time, while Thomas was a self-employed fitness instructor. I don't think that those jobs put you in a position to have all those.
Don't be wages, Mike.
I don't know. Body by Jake made a lot of money.
Body by Woody.
This was okay. I'm sure Body by Woody made a shitload, but in this case, the pair pleaded guilty to money laundering in a Manchester court back in 2019. Thomas was jailed for 2 years, and Colleen was handed a 16-month sentence. Prosecutors then launched an investigation under what's called the Proceeds of Crime Act in a bid to claw back some of the couple's ill-gotten gains. The probe was making slow progress, but then took a back seat when Thomas Campbell was suddenly murdered.
Uh-oh.
Thomas, who was 38 at the time, was ambushed and attacked by 3 men as he unlocked the front door of his home on July 2nd, 2022. The convicted drug dealer, and talk about the drugs, being arrested for drugs, which happened before the money laundering thing, suffered horrendous injuries and was found dead at the house the next day. Colleen and Thomas had split up prior to his murder. Colleen had begun seeing a man named John Belfield, and in an ironic twist, Thomas Campbell had begun seeing Belfield's ex.
There you go.
A swapperoo.
Plot thickens.
Now you got my attention.
Right? Holy smokes. Jesus Christ.
Okay, and I've just shown
Which one was she?
I've just shown the boys a picture of Mrs. Campbell. So just
hello.
Just hours before
Hello, Miss Campbell.
Good night, Mike.
You can call her Colleen. Just hours before Thomas was ambushed, Colleen was caught on CCTV on her.
I call her nasty.
On her.
Sorry.
I'm trying, folks. Colleen was caught on CCTV on her driveway talking on the phone with Belfield.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
It was alleged that Belfield had plotted to rob Campbell after reading a Manchester Evening News article about his money laundering conviction, which detailed the couple's wealthy lifestyle and that he was motivated by hostility towards him. Colleen provided key information about her ex to Belfield. Prosecutors believe Belfield was the mastermind of the killing and one of 3 men who attacked Thomas. Colleen went on trial alongside 2 men, Reese Stephen, age 29, and Stephen Cleworth, age 38, who allegedly planned and executed the murder along with Belfield. Thomas's murder trial was concluded in February. At the trial, prosecutors alleged that Colleen had turned on her ex-husband and formed an alliance with alleged rival drug dealer, Belfield. Colleen insisted that she did not want her ex-husband dead and was disgusted by what her former spouse had been subjected to. She would forever regret the unwittingly helping her ex-husband's killers and saying that she had been used by Belfield while she was on the stand in court. She maintained she only passed on information to Belfield about her ex to help him discover whether his ex-girlfriend was in a relationship with Thomas. Colleen was found not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter. Reese Stephen and Stephen Cleworth were both convicted of Stephen was convicted of murder. Cleworth was convicted of manslaughter, and both got very long sentences. Belfield escaped the country soon after the murder. Following the conclusion of the case, it was revealed that Belfield had been arrested in Suriname, a small country on the northeastern coast of South America. What do you knew that?
That's right.
You're a South American expert. He was held on suspicion of drug offenses. Greater Manchester Police said he is wanted in connection with Thomas's death and that the officers are working to bring him back to the UK. Colleen was back in court yesterday and her case is now settled. She's been ordered to hand over £76,500 within the next 3 months. If she fails to pay in that period, she'll have to serve an additional 13-year sentence. They're selling the home, which is worth plenty of money to pay that, so she will be able to pay that.
She can get on OnlyFans and make that in a month.
She needs to team up with the team.
I don't think she'd have to leave the UK because they won't allow.
I don't need to see it again. My eyes are already burned.
I thought you might need that for your, what do you call it? Your spank bank? Yeah.
No, spank bank. Well,
Jesus.
All right.
Moving on.
Body by Jake. Very
Body
good.
by Woody.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Man, we got a mile high crime for Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
This ought to be a good one. A woman armed with a knife was tackled and arrested after stabbing 3 people, including a police officer, at the south terminal of Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport on Wednesday afternoon.
There you go.
The call came in around 4:45 p.m. reporting a woman was outside the security checkpoint near the west crossover. Atlanta police say the woman stabbed a man somewhere in the area of that west crossover before moving into the south terminal. So when we did encounter her, there had already been a stabbing that occurred. This from Atlanta Police Sergeant John Chafee. Police officers began talking to the woman, trying to coax her into dropping the knife. Officers quickly surrounded her and tried to take her into custody. There's a little bit of moment that happened there, Sergeant Chafee said. That is when police say she attacked another woman and a police department lieutenant, stabbing them. All 3 victims were speaking with medics as they were rushed to the hospital. Police say the lieutenant was stabbed in the thigh and struck an artery. They added the 3rd victim was an airport ticket clerk who was nicked by the blade. Another officer was able to tackle her and take her into custody. The armed woman was not injured and taken to the airport precinct. It doesn't appear there was that there's any connection between her and them, but that's something we're looking into, police said, and they are still investigating what led her to stab the 3 people. Charges are going to be filed at some point, said Sergeant Chafee, adding that those will be revealed once investigators have had time to piece together what transpired.
This goes back to that story the other day where all the cops are in the house and the chief even responds and all of them get stabbed.
Yeah.
They don't have a fucking firearm. I think the 3 people get stabbed. You know she's got a knife. shit.
Well, you
she'll have
want to
lead
stay
poison.
far enough away, obviously, where that
21 foot
can't
rule.
happen.
Yeah, 21 foot rule is what it is, and if they violate that space, you have a right to shoot them.
Yeah.
The difference between
and with
me and them.
Tasers now, I mean, you could have done that.
You could have sprayed her. You could have done anything. But I'm not. If you got a knife, I'm not letting you get into my personal space. You know, you can't run backwards as fast as they can run forward.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's a
right.
fact.
How far a distance can you shoot one of those tasers?
I don't know, because tasers came out right after my time on the street and stuff, and all of the bad guys better be glad.
You'd have been tasing everybody. You'd have been a tasing fool.
Yeah, as long as it was legal. Now, like Freeze Plus P, I use plenty, but I was right in my use of force continuum, right? So I don't know.
Well, that is your mile high crime.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Kinky Crimes on Friday, and for
The 13th at that.
And
It's got to be kinky.
two Kinky Crime segments in a row. I'm coming into your territory, Jim.
You are.
I am. So, a pair of strangers who were caught engaging in a sex act on a flight.
Oh,
Right? So here we are, Mile High too. Could face, literally Mile High, could face charges. The couple, who were not previously acquainted with one another.
Hey. Now we're talking,
Soared on a
baby.
plane, boy.
What's your
were
name?
Discovered aboard a Delta Airlines flight from Los Angeles to Detroit, which is then going to the landing strip. Just teasing. I remember that one. The woman, 48, was arrested while on the plane for having sex on the man, 28.
Hey.
For having sex on the man?
That's what it says. The 48, 28, 20 years difference. Got to have it. The man's final destination was Miami, while the woman's was headed to Nashville. Video captured a woman straddling a man in the window seat. And at one point, the man asked people around him for a condom.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Can you give me a condom? You got a condom? Because it's nasty bitches. They'd be like, whatever.
Did he ask the flight attendant first?
Anybody got a Trojan?
Got a Magnum?
Sir, what can I get?
Magnum, yes.
What can I get you? I'll take a ginger ale and a condom.
Yeah, right? So it later emerged the pair were not a couple, and that the man in question was he was on his bachelor party.
Oh, this is
And I'm saying had, because once it came out, it was definitely had. But he was on his bachelor party, and he left his pregnant fiance at home.
Oh, that's horrible.
Right? A friend of the male passenger said, "That's just a random woman he's with. They didn't know each other before the day."
Hey.
Right? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No
man.
harm, no harm, no foul.
All right. Fuck you.
Think the pregnant
wife is not gonna
fiance
see
is
that
thinking.
way.
Somebody give me a condom right now.
And the wedding plans be over.
That
Give me
is
a condom.
kinky. That's as kinky as it gets.
That's funny as fuck.
When it's that kinky, it overrides Mile High
That's
crimes.
right. Segment trumps.
Yes, it
content,
does.
Content trumps, whatever.
Asking neighbors on the plane for a condom trumps everything.
Anybody got a condom?
You haven't had a
I
condom?
need a condom quick. I think she's down.
Oh, she was down.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to travel back in time a little bit for today's dumb criminals. In fact, we're going to go way back in time in order to meet today's dummies. Yes, that's was that the
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. But did they travel in time when they did that?
No, I don't know if they went back in time.
It was Bill and Ted that
Yeah.
Keanu's first big movie, I think. The dumb crime was committed way back when in the year 1474 in the city of Basel, Switzerland.
Okay.
Either of you guys familiar with Basel?
I've been all over Switzerland, but I can't remember the names. Lucerne was my favorite.
I could do a Switzerland accent too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Schwizzle sticks.
Perfect. Basel is commonly considered to be the cultural capital of Switzerland, and the city is famous for its many museums, including the Kunstmuseum.
What?
The Kunstmuseum, which is considered a must-see for any heterosexual male traveling across Europe.
Oh, my God.
In
That's a real museum. Oh my God.
Kunst, Kunst Museum.
I'm sure
Kunst
they had
Museum.
different spelling over there.
In Basel back in 1474, the culture hadn't yet advanced so far. Thus, the punishment for most crimes was pretty cruel. It was mostly being burned alive at the stake. The good townspeople of Basel gathered for these burned at the stake events with the same sort of enthusiasm you two might have gathering for an LSU game.
Right?
But on this particular day in 1474, they gathered to watch a bizarre sight, the burning of a non-human.
Really?
Anonymous.
Whether somebody had a sex with a cow or
The
something?
animal was to suffer this terrible fate, quote, for the heinous and unnatural crime of laying an egg.
What?
Witchcraft was suspected, for how else could it be that a rooster could lay an egg?
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was one of
So
those.
the magistrates of Basel sentenced the cock to the same punishment usually reserved for witches. Folks back then were especially afraid of an egg laid by a rooster because of the superstition that this egg could hatch a basilisk or a cockatrice, a terrifying winged creature with the head of a cock and the tail of a serpent. This creature could kill with just a glance.
Only you,
The good people of Basel had no idea that such gender bending things can happen in chickens, and that it's a perfectly natural occurrence. The execution took place, quote, with great solemnity, as would have been observed in consigning a heretic to the flames, and was witnessed by an immense crowd of townspeople and peasants.
They should have put some peanut on
So-
and fried
Must have been a big cock.
So as we approach the 550th anniversary of this dumb as shit but very true story, I salute the cock and the dumb people of Basel with a proper serenade of banjos and fiddles.
Oh, gross. You'll get in trouble.
That was some major
That's dumb townspeople.
Yes, indeed.
stupidity right there.
Yes,
A lot of dumb criminals research there. Huh.
That's one dumb cock.
One poor cock. He wasn't so dumb. He just
That's true.
laid an
Hey,
egg.
they should have put some peanut oil in.
I don't understand how roosters can lay eggs, though. That's
Maybe it's what do they call those things where maybe a trans rooster?
that's not.
Is that what it's called?
It's not a trans rooster.
I don't know. I
don't-
don't even know about all that shit. Hey, the Friday the 13th.
He identifies
y'all
as a hen. No.
y'all got plans for the weekend? I tell you what, mine. Yeah,
I know what mine are.
I'm
too.
staying. Well, I'm hanging out with my old man. My mom's gone to the beach with my sisters, and me and my old man go cook some shit and shoot some shit
There you go.
and drink some shit.
Watch Auburn game and
Oh, is that this weekend?
yeah.
Is it a day game?
It's
or
home game too.
I am going to binge 4 seasons of Amish Mafia this weekend.
Yeah,
just
it's
so,
actually pretty entertaining.
just so we can talk about it.
Egg smashing coming Tuesday.
Yeah, when am I going to get the details?
We need to get that
on
cock to come so he can lay all the eggs.
That 1474 was the year there. He's probably
Not
and he
around.
was burned at the stake. So you might get the cockatrice. Maybe they live
so.
forever once they
Maybe
become
so.
cockatrice.
They get the I don't know,
Maybe that's what I should be for Halloween is a cockatrice.
cockatrice, because I'm sure everybody knows what that is. Now they do.
No,
That's a good way to meet people. You get to explain your costume. Why do you have a cock for a head? Let me tell you the story.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you have it. Rescue.org, see something, say something. And we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much. And
Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For real life, real crime daily. Peace.
Aglets.